Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 7 of the Intellect Selectah podcast brought to you by Balajadia Music. Today, we have a very special guest. He's a original partner in crime of mine since back in the day. Just released an EP, just got off a tour. Introducing Jason J. All right, Jace, thanks for freaking coming in, chatting with us here at the Intellect Selectah podcast, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, bro.
Dude, of course, bro. Gotta have my main man, dude. Fucking, you're the one that helped me fucking pull the trigger on this puppy. So, I'm very thankful for you, dude.
Hey,
You're a
man.
really great friend.
Just try, man. Just try to help each other out. Give
Yeah,
tips here and there.
definitely, dude. Fucking, well, let's get into it. Here on the Intellect Selectah podcast, we like to try to dive deep in drive, obsession, and adversity. So, just for the listeners, if they're just tuning in, um, this is Jason J. He's one of my oldest friends I still got, man. Love you, Jay.
Love you too, bro.
Jay, freaking, where were you born, bro?
I was born in Guam, Guam, USA. Um, yeah, GMH. Where everyone else is born on Guam.
Right. 1988.
Yes, sir. August 8th, 1988.
Nice, dude. Freaking, you believe in that Chinese astrology?
I've had some late night talks with different people at bars and at the end of shows about some of that stuff, and it's sometimes it's a little spooky, but
Yeah.
sometimes I mean, if you like read this shit from like fortune cookies, that shit ain't gonna get you nowhere. But
Yeah, we'll
but
get into that. We'll get
yeah,
into that later. Freaking, yeah, man. We started this Intellect Selectah podcast. It's a mindset lifestyle podcast where we bring the specialists in and we, get the origin, get the obsession, get the adversity, and then push out whatever they got going on at the end. And um, so you were born on Guam. When were you first introduced to music?
it was same time you were back in high school. Back in high school, over at Notre Dame in Talafofo. And yeah, you and I were we started together in the same class. Miss Fitzgerald's English class.
Yeah, dude, man, we haven't talked about this, dude.
I
We've
know,
been
you're right.
we've been doing this for years. So Miss
Yeah.
Fitzgerald's class, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those are good times, bro. She
It
she
was.
was very supportive, dude.
She was, man. And that's what made us like really lock into it, because we had a teacher who was like, "Yeah, go perform your song," and here we are shitting bricks to perform this one song we just wrote the night before. Remember how that
Yeah,
felt? We're like, "Oh yeah, we'll jam." We were
yeah,
nervous
and
as
even
fuck.
our peers, our class was very supportive
Yeah,
too. We never had any real big haters or anything like that
right.
in our class, and
I think because no one else was doing it.
yeah, I don't know where it came from. Where do you think
I don't.
that?
I get this. I get asked that question all the time. Like, I don't know where it really came from. Like, what made us want to do it? Like, at that time, you and I were all about basketball.
Yeah, I
And
think basketball has a big thing about it for some reason, dude. It's like
yeah, it's
maybe the
weird.
discipline that was in the basketball translated to music, and we we
Possibly.
we trained like champions, bro. We fucking trained hard, dude. We had a good thing going in our basketball, dude.
We did, dude. We put some buckets in, bro.
We were a force to be reckoned with, bro.
Right. Until we start playing music, then they're like, "Oh, that's what these guys are about."
Yeah, man. I think music is like a long game, and
Yeah.
I think if some people have the foresight to see the long game, like, because we didn't do it to be popular, bro. We did it just so that we can play it back.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
then that fucking CD got leaked.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then,
we were just freaking out on what we were doing. We didn't even like at that time. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I'm just gonna write some songs. It's kind of cool, you
mhm.
know. Like we were just like instead of playing all these covers that we were always jamming, we're like, no, let's just write some shit, you know. And like the fact that we had our own shit was super dope, and that's what led us to just keep on going with it, you know.
Yeah. And I think people really attached to what the fuck we were talking about, dude.
Yeah, I think so.
Cause fucking what we were talking about was like some real shit, dude. Like,
Yeah, and I don't know, but I don't know if it's the same way with you. But like when I was back in those days, it was easier to finish a song.
yeah,
I feel
dude.
like I feel like I have a harder time to do it now because I'm so like critical on myself and like each line I put down. But back then, like, because like when I listen back, like I'm singing the songs we wrote back in the day, and I
Hmm.
still perform all those songs. But like to hear what I was singing about, sometimes I don't really understand what I was talking about. But
Yeah,
it's
there was
because
no like
I
real
didn't.
focus, right? Like,
Yeah, I didn't really like I didn't know how to like super finesse what I was saying.
yeah,
You know, like there were for me there were a lot of filler lines in my songs at those times where
yeah.
I just needed a line that rhymed with the previous line, so I just put something in
Me
there. But
too. Mine
now I
was I
can't do
and
that.
I. I used to say I and I all the time.
For real.
But I try not to do that anymore, even though I really get into it sometimes.
Yeah,
But it's so fun, dude. I mean, the way I think at that time, bro, we had the repetition down. Like you said,
yeah,
every single day was a new song. So you do that for 70 days, bro. You're gonna be pretty good at it, you know.
yeah. Exactly,
And
exactly.
and it's not like we started recording right away too, because John Kaminga, he
He's
he
the
he rec-
reason. He's the reason why you and I were just writing. We weren't anywhere near to be ready for studio at that time.
yeah, he
You know,
documented that.
he
Yeah,
did, bro. Like it's so crazy that he did that. Like fuck. If no one else did that, that should be all up in the air. Who knows when we would have recorded the songs, you know? But
yeah,
that was our first taste of like hearing ourselves back on an audio file.
definitely. But you know, our formula was pretty easy back then. It was just
Yeah,
rhythm guitar and a lead that kind of
yeah.
grooves in the
And I mean,
background.
and for those who are listening, like our good friend Kaminga would record a video of us just jamming in a room, and then strip the audio and make it MP3s. And so like we started like slanging those on CDs around school, and they were just like camera recordings, you know, like live in a room. But yeah,
Really,
that's what.
really
Yeah, really,
shitty.
really grimy.
I mean, it was good audio at that time, though. Yeah.
It was. It was. I mean, because
Like,
we were good about just finding a quiet room.
hmm,
You know, we were always trying to find an empty classroom during lunch and shit. You know.
it was pretty crazy how like we had leeway in our school, dude. Like we had pull that nobody else can do. Like they would pull us out of class. You know, they'll
Yeah.
open the door at lunchtime when no one's allowed to be in there. You know.
Be alone. Yeah, without supervision. You know. But it's like, yeah, you guys can just jam in here. It's like, hell yeah.
Shout out to
Gonna have
ND,
just
dude.
have a little drink of this special water.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
no comment. No comment.
no comment. No comment.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, no.
Yeah.
I can't disclose nor deny
Ah,
that. But shit, dude, fucking yeah, dude. I think let's talk about the people that gravitated towards the vibes. Why do you think they did? Was it because of nobody was doing it at the time? You think
yeah.
it was perfect timing?
Nobody in that entire school. Maybe there's some. Maybe you know what? It's. We can't say that no one else was doing it. Like some of the older guys may have done it, but like we were the only ones to like go balls deep in it. You know, like we were like
Uh,
writing and then we're jamming all these songs we wrote like in the the hallways, and like everyone else was jamming covers, and some people had some. I'm sure like some of the older class people in the classes had like their own songs, but most of the time they're just jamming covers, you know. And like we were with them, jamming covers too, but we
Mm-hmm.
broke away and started writing our own shit, and I think that's what led them to gravitate towards us, because the fact that we were writing our own and just kind of like making our own path, you know.
Definitely, dude. It was because I contemplate about these things a lot, bro. Like, because I try
Yeah,
to replicate the formula, and
yeah,
it's just almost impossible because
yeah. I mean, we grow every day, you know. We grow more and
yeah,
more each year, and like the formula I mean, you can use the same formula, but it's a matter of like developing that formula in the right direction, you know.
of the desired goal,
Of the Yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly.
So speaking of like high school days, and after we departed, and I mean, we only linked up like two or last year or something, and
Yeah, we had a lot of years of
before,
where we didn't really get to hang out or talk much, you know. Kind of
yeah,
when
we were just living
our
life, right?
yeah, exactly.
But
I mean, you left Guam right after high school, right?
yeah,
No,
I
yeah,
left. Yeah,
you went to San Fran, yeah,
hmm
yeah, and I stayed in Guam for a little bit longer.
dude, you freaking your music on Guam is fucking catastrophic, dude. It's really good, bro.
I'm trying,
Um,
bro. Thank you, man. And yours too. Shit, you know, yours as well, bro.
I'm trying to, dude. You know, I think what we find as we, at least I can speak for myself, when I got older, is like music is the only consistent thing that has ever stayed. You know,
Right, right.
and like, who am I to say that I'm done with music? Or you know, it comes in waves. You know, sometimes when
Yeah,
you're feeling it, you want to pump it out, dude. And
right.
that's what I did. You know, because I know that I might not have this built up momentum fucking
Again, yeah,
long, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So you're doing really well for yourself, dude. A lot of people are finally taking notice. Um, you know, there's people would see you and say, "Man, this guy's an overnight success," but they didn't see the 10 years
Right,
plus, you know?
right.
So,
Like after high school, there was like so many years of quietness, you know, where like, fuck. I mean, I had those songs in Guam. We had those songs in Guam radio, but like moving out to the States, like it was from ground zero again, bro. Like I had no connects, no hookups, couldn't get a
mhm,
fucking gig. You know, it was busking on the streets. You did that too in San Fran. You know, we did
yeah,
it. We had a share of like super grimy ass shit. You know, but
yeah,
it's all
that's,
part of it, man. You know,
yeah,
it's all part of the hustle and the struggle, and that's also like going back to it, like our formula, like that's part of the formula, like. And when I say formula now, it's not only like the songwriting process, it's
mhm.
the entire process to release music,
It's a full
to,
package, yeah.
you know, yeah, it's a full package. So like even like the way you do the studio, the way the people you call for studio, where you do your music at, um the way you record it, that's all part of your
Mhm.
formula as well, you know.
Yeah. I'm
Like
I'm learning too,
yeah,
dude.
like the work doesn't stop after the song's finished being written. Like you,
Yeah.
like there's that's only like the beginning step. Like after that, it's like pushing it out, you know, and promoting it.
Yeah, dude. So how did you overcome those restless nights where you just drowning in fucking self-defeat because your goal is very clear, your vision is extremely clear,
Right.
but your reality is frustrating. Like you're
You know what?
overcoming something.
You know, I don't feel like I've actually overcame it yet. The self doubt thing. I feel like I
Hmm.
still deal with that, but
Can you manage it better at least
I
a
can
little bit?
manage it better. Exactly.
Mm.
And I feel like if you don't move enough, the self-doubt starts to kick in even more. So the fact that then when I
Mm-hmm.
start feeling like that, I just feel like I need to make a move, and whether it's write another song or start building up the catalog or start linking up with more musicians or producers and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like if I don't play for a while, which I've had my like ups and downs where I'm like touring hardcore, and then after that I'll have like 2 months of no shows.
Mm-hmm.
And in those 2 months, sometimes I can have my dark days, where I'm just like, fuck, like, did my time pass? But that's all in our head. That's all made up in our heads, bro. Like, but
Yeah.
even speaking of momentum, like momentum is the cause of a force, and we
Mm-hmm.
are the people who make the force. Like we're the ones who create it. So it's like the fact that thinking that momentum is going to pass, like, but it's more about realizing that we're the ones creating the momentum.
Yeah.
So
Act
and
through
action,
action.
yeah,
Yeah.
through action, and that's what kills you people is when they don't have action and
Yeah.
they don't see momentum.
They
Yeah,
over assess things, and then
exactly.
starts manifesting from worry to
Yep.
destructive
Self.
self talk. You know.
Yeah, and I've gone through that over and over again. But every time I
Yeah.
do get over it, I
Same
feel like
here,
I get
dude.
better. I get better at it. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's gonna be it's a lifelong thing, dude. Totally. Like sometimes you have a really good song you wrote, and then you write a few songs after that, and none of them are like close to touching that song. That
Yeah.
those kind of thoughts start to come in too. You're like, fuck, nothing's biting.
Yeah.
But then eventually something bites if you just keep hitting it again.
Yeah, definitely. It's like you can't just throw one hook in the ocean, dude, and think it's
Yeah,
just gonna fucking catch.
exactly. You got to fucking
And
throw the shotgun line, with eight,
dude,
the eight hooks on there. You
you
know what
gotta
I mean?
be like the old school two light hunters, dude. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fucking but I think a lot of people will enjoy this episode because um they've been asking for it, dude, and
Right
and I
on.
think me and you are kind of we'll be our names will be like bonded together like
Oh
more
yeah,
than steel, dude. I feel like, and you're my brother, dude, and I fucking love you, dude.
love you too, bro.
Um,
Too, man.
um so what, there's a lot of young, talented musicians. When did you start to realize, hey, I gotta turn Jason J to a fucking brand so that I can eventually get to where I want to be? So,
Yeah,
how important is it to learn branding or
dude,
stuff like that?
it's so crucial. To be honest, like the whole time I was in Guam, I didn't have any care for any of that. Like I would just write songs. All I did was in Guam was focus on writing songs, and I didn't learn any of that until I got to California and went to music school. And then it's like I took a program called Independent Artist at Musicians Institute in Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
and I had like so my class, it was a 9 month program, and I had 9 classes, and they're all like each class. One class was like creative writing, the other one was um what else? Yeah, creative writing, design, music business.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, there's a bunch of them. I can't remember. It's like 2011. But yeah, a bunch of different classes. So like after I finish a 9 month course, I have like a better understanding of a well-roundedness of all the things I need to do. But
Yeah.
of course, they're using all the successful like Hollywood and like mainstream artists as the basis for the lessons.
Mm-hmm.
With examples of like big time artists and acts who have
Yeah.
like paved the way in a sense. And so that was kind of like the models they're using. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and reggae doesn't always follow that model exactly. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like they're telling us at music school, like it's all about your age, and if you hit a certain age, then it's like harder to hit it. But it's like reggae music, you have more leeway. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can be like 40 years old still doing this and still climbing.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
Look at Still Pulse, dude. I mean,
exactly.
those guys are rocking it, dude.
Yeah.
I think music, as long as you have the vocal
Yeah.
capability, yeah, you know.
I mean, literally, Guam for me was just like that was the like my pool being a big fish. You know what I mean? Like this,
Dude,
that was a pond to
yeah.
being a big fish. You know, like moving to California, I realized like, holy shit, I have a lot to work on. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to stand next to these other artists who are like super developed. Everything's taken care of. They have a full team. You know, right behind them. And just things like that. So like, I'm still trying to get up to that level. But yeah, it's not till I moved off of Guam, off island to, and my mind's just talking to people out here in California who came from other places too to move to California to pursue music. You know, so I got to like get a
Mm-hmm.
wider scope of that. And at that time in Guam, like. I don't know. The local music wasn't as like local music in Guam now is like another level, dude. These guys are leveling up hardcore in Guam, dude.
Really? Like, what's the
Yeah,
big difference that you see?
um, I see like the 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 younger artists now just coming out for tours. You know, like taking that step to start coming out and supporting and being on Guam and opening for bands that come to Guam. Like back in the day, I did a bunch of that, and there's never any real connection. Like there wasn't like a
Yeah,
yo.
I never
Let me.
talked to an artist after
Yeah,
that too.
exactly. Like they actually a lot of times they kept us separate from the big acts. You know, like the local
Mm-hmm.
bands had no. We couldn't kick in the green room with them. Like we're like it was just a separate thing. You know. But yeah, I mean, like the local music scene in Guam is just fucking thriving right now. People are like, everyone's pushing for original content. You know, everyone's really like writing their songs, recording their songs, and the recording quality is amazing right now.
It's top
Like people
notch,
are,
dude.
you know, it's
It's
good shit.
crazy. Dude,
But
it's
yeah,
crazy.
at that time it wasn't till I left Guam though. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I think back, like in Guam I was just working on my craft personally, just writing and working on my voice and working on my performance and all kind of shit like that, you know. But it wasn't like none of the business shit was ever in my mind. Like I mean, I sold I sold two of my songs for ringtones for like $40 each, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like
Did you make money?
$40 a song, bro. And they used it for a ringtone. I was like, Jesus Christ. When
Holy
I look
shit.
back at it now, I'm like, whoever it was I talked to was like, that was some low shit to like talk to a 17-year-old kid and then pay him $40 to use his songs on a ringtone when
Oh,
I
okay,
should have been,
okay. Now I
you know,
see. Yeah, yeah.
I should have been paid way more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like some other people got like some other people got fucking cell phone plans for a whole year, and I just got $40. You know, I remember just buying some like bags of weed with that shit,
Yeah.
small ass bags of weed. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, for real. Fucking
Crazy.
the two finger stingers.
Oh my gosh, stingers in the pocket, bro. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Wallet stingers.
A lot of people they think that me and you um uh started the original contemporary music wave on Guam. And there was other people doing it. I always correct people. I'm like, hey man,
Yeah,
there's always other people doing it.
right.
Maybe they didn't do the genre as us,
Yeah.
the same genre, but they were rocking it. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I just wanted to kind of clear that up for me,
Yeah, I mean, we
because
can't we can't discredit the people that we personally didn't know about. You know.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, like, totally. I have people tell me that and about you and I, you know, like how we were the first of our generation is, and like I kind of agree with that at the same time, but at the same time, I'm just like that's just
me
people's
too.
opinion.
Like, yeah,
That's just an opinion. You know what I mean? We can't take that as a that's not really a trophy under our belt or anything.
it's not like a fact or
Yeah,
well,
exactly. It's not a fact.
yeah. So obviously, I've had to deal with ego and stuff like that, and just because people know who we are back home, but it's I feel like I'm at a good place now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I'm not young. I don't need external validation as much
yeah.
as I thought I did even a year ago. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that detachment from expectation and being in music is a pretty pretty challenging one, you know, and
It is, man.
especially for longevity and stuff like that. What do you how do you keep the drive, bro? What do you do?
For me,
Take us through your day, dude. Take us through your creative day if you have one. Like,
um, it's not an it's not an everyday thing.
oh,
Definitely not
okay.
an everyday thing. Yeah, I would say like 3-4 days of the week are dedicated. Like for me, I'm raising two kids, you know, so I'm a family
Yeah.
man. A lot of time has to be put into the kids, and for the longest time, a lot of I was working like day jobs at like studios and shit, and so I would have to work an 8 to 5 job and then come home and try to squeeze time with the kids and then try to do music, and so in my
Damn.
days just weren't long enough, you know. So like yeah, literally, wait, a day, a creative day for me would just be like trying to find a place so I can lock myself away. Like I can't really do it at home because I just feel like there's a lot going on. I have a special needs daughter, so we have like 24, 20, 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours a day with a nursing staff. So we have a nurse who isn't in the family, and she'll come into the house. So like there's like somewhat of a sterile environment at home, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to write a little bit intoxicated. I have to get like somewhat of a little bit of buzz, just so I can like really zone in, you know.
Yeah.
Whether it's a little bit of weed, a little bit of whiskey, some shit like that. So yeah, like home isn't a writing spot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do a lot of. I've had like lockout studios where it's like I pay a monthly fee and I get a key for a place and it's mine 24/7, and I have a desk and all that shit in there, and I can close the door and lock it and just write for like 5-6 hours, you know.
Damn, that's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, I mean it gets costly here in LA though. Like
Yeah.
sometimes these rooms are like 400, 600, 800 a month, you know, almost
Yeah.
paying rent. You know what I mean? Almost. LA is really expensive for rent, but I mean, the bigger the room is, like I've had a room before that was 1100, but it was split 4 ways between 4 different people. So we just have
Damn.
to schedule out when like, yo, I need a room today from like 11 to 3 or some shit, you know, stuff like that. So,
Mm.
um, but now I don't have that anymore. At this time I just don't have a spot. So I do a lot of my writing in my car. Like I'm in my car right
Mm.
now.
Yeah.
Um, I do a lot of my writing in my car. I go for drives. I have a nice gas eco-friendly car, so I'll just like drive in a giant loop on the freeway,
Mm-hmm.
like a 8 mile loop, where
Yeah.
it's like it's just an exit on the right, and then make a left, make another left, back on the freeway again,
Yeah.
and I just do this giant loop, and I do a lot of my writing there. So at home, I'll record like a guitar part, like a rhythm, and I'll just drive and sing to the rhythm, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Dude, I do that too, bro.
just so that I don't have to worry about playing the chords while I'm
That way
singing.
you're like kind of working on the tonality and
Exactly. Because you know,
you're
like playing the chords and like staying in time with the rhythm on the guitar is like it takes up some of your like CPU power in your brain, you
dude,
know.
definitely.
So like yeah, to put my mind 100% into writing, I'll just have like some kind of instrumental that I can write, whether it's a full production instrumental or just a acoustic guitar and a notes memo. You know,
Yeah.
that I played for like 5 minutes straight, you know, at home, and then I just go for a drive. And yeah, like the writing is a lot slower now than it was before, where each
Mm-hmm.
like in a 3 hour session I'm only writing like a verse or two. You know,
Dude,
back in the day I used to be able to finish like almost the whole song in like 2 hours, you know.
I think you
So
touched up on it, man. I think it's the CPU power, dude. Like if you're doing
yeah.
a million gazillion things, like you only got like maybe 10 minutes of fucking prime creative, like
Yep.
100%, dude. Like, and if you don't knock it out in 10 minutes, you're fucked, you know? Like those are the kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, you
a
got to
lot of
catch it while it's hot, you know.
yeah, well, it's not used, you know. And it's pretty cool, dude. Like so you do that. That's pretty cool. You still
Yeah,
stay to the old school. Just
I,
like I
I
do
just have
that
a lot
too,
of
bro.
yeah, I have a lot of like a lot of people in my life that rely on me for things. So like in order for me to write and have a clear conscience, sometimes I just have to get away for a little bit, you know, and just like lock myself in a room and just free distractions, put my phone away, you know. And I mean that falls in line with meditation, you know. That's like a thing where like I'm just by myself with a guitar, and like I like being by myself. I really enjoy being alone.
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's what and writing music is what's taught me to be like enjoy being alone, you know. Because I
Yeah.
hear stories of a lot of people who are like afraid to be alone with their thoughts, but dude, that's like some of my most favorite things. Like
It's scary at first. That's why I
it
tell
is.
people you have to be kind to yourself because when you start to fucking really dig
Oh
in,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
gonna be very upset with the person
yeah,
that you accepted at that time, and
yeah,
that's a part of it. And you just try to be better
yeah,
every day,
right,
morally and respectfully and empathy and I think we reached we're 30s. We're in our 30s now. We were
yeah.
rocking since we were fucking young pups, dude.
16. Was it
16.
16? Holy shit, dude, that's crazy
You know,
to think about it.
that's half of our
Half
life,
our life, bro. What the fuck?
you know.
Holy shit,
And it
dude.
seems like things
It
are just
seems like
starting to
eight
hit
years. It seems
now.
like 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Me and you had a lot of our um, chats over some Jack Daniels in the back of
Yeah,
the
dude,
truck.
totally. Yeah, so I was just in Guam, right, for that Vibes Fest concert.
Yeah, how was
And I
that,
went to.
dude?
It was dope, man. It was really dope. It's nice to go back to a place where they know like all the lyrics to the songs, and they're singing it. You know, like and here when I play my shows out here in the states, like I can like not finish a line and only like 20 people are singing it back, you know. But out here,
Mm-hmm.
back in Guam, it's like I had like the whole concert singing the songs back, or the lyrics back, you know, where I could stop off I can lay off the melody and just like play guitar and like, you know, they start singing for me and I come back in again. So that's
Mm-hmm.
Guam's always recharging. It's always a really like recharging thing for me musically and like and my self confidence and everything, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And but well, I was about to say I went over to my auntie's Auntie Pia over by your old spot in Nimitz,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh yeah,
I just
yeah.
made that drive up there, and I was like, damn, there's remember all the memories we had over there too. You know, it's like crazy
Lot of chats just like this, dude, and
over there. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
it's crazy, man. Time is just flying by.
Definitely, dude. My nose is getting bigger, dude.
Is
It's
it?
fucking
Shit.
yeah. You know. Sometimes I'm like,
You're
nope,
just filling up a nose hair or what?
no, dude. Yeah, it's like my nose, dude. When I'm wearing a hat, it's like the only thing that's popping out. I'm like, shit.
Eh,
But yeah, man. How did that feel when they were singing back to you, dude? Like, I'm sure that was a vision that you had since 16, dude.
Yeah, man, and I mean like that's just always rewarding because you know that people are listening. You know, they're listening to what you're writing about. You know, like and it's just like fuck, man. That's all we can ask for, bro. You know, as songwriters,
Yeah.
like just be like, yo, like listen, like everyone has fucking songs, but like these people know the songs. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's all we could
It's
like.
it's
That's one
nice
of the
to know that they're still out there, dude. Like,
yeah, because that brings out the best in you as a performer when people know the songs, like, and they're rocking to it. You know, like it break for me. It just busts me out of my normal shell. You know, performance wise. I just get lit up with fire. Like fuck yeah, dude, let's go. You know, it's like game time. Like
dude, that's so sick, bro. I'm so happy for you that you're doing it live and in the studio and you're getting received well and people are singing your songs back. They're covering you. I remember when they first covered, um, whichever ones that we did, right? We did so
yeah,
many and they
yeah,
all covered everything, and
right,
I remember it was such a special feeling, like that people were learning our songs and
yeah, yeah. It was
we were the cover now, You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. Right, right,
I
right.
think subconsciously we knew what the fuck we were doing, but we
I
didn't pay
agree.
it no mind. Like I
I
don't think.
agree. But the crazy part is that we didn't realize at the moment, you know?
Yeah, we
It
were
was,
living it. You know, we were actually
we just,
living.
yeah, we were, I was just walking and taking the next step that was in front of me. And I was like,
Me
just kind
too.
of blind to what kind of thing, what we were building up, you know?
Yeah, it's a trip, dude. Cause you've seen many talented bands disassemble and then
Yeah.
deteriorate, and I think just like for me and you, we just refuse to take no for an answer,
Yeah.
and when music starts calling you again and you're just feeling it, fucking, and it's not forced.
Yeah.
It's a fun thing, huh?
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
Sometimes I trip out, I read the comments on YouTube on your YouTube page and on even on mine, and like people are just so nice.
Yeah.
And those
Just,
are the guys that I do it for, dude. Like I know
yeah.
that I still didn't record properly like a lot of songs, or just to my pleasing, and
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm gonna dish out those, and I don't know. Just it's so fun, dude. I think we're very blessed, Jay. Like
Yo,
for real.
definitely. Definitely. I mean,
And
we never changed our path since high school. That's the one
yeah,
thing I like. I talk to Joe Gogo about it all the time.
yeah,
Like we never changed paths, bro. Like we knew what we wanted to do. Joe knew he wanted to fight. Like like you knew you want to play music. Like we're all still fucking doing what we set our fucking goals on.
you
Because
know,
I know
I
a lot of people. I know a lot of people had to had to change it. Some of them were forced to even change it. You know what I mean? Some of them gave up on
mhm.
themselves. Some of them just didn't want to do it anymore. Whatever it was they said they're gonna do, and then maybe they found something better. But it's like here we are. We're the ones still like pushing. Pushing for what we wanted at such a young age, bro. Where
Yeah.
we didn't understand what we were doing.
I didn't know it was gonna be a 10-year grueling grind, though,
Oh
man,
my
or
gosh, I
10
thought
year
we were just
plus.
writing songs, bro.
If I knew that, bro, I would never have picked up the guitar, dude.
No, I would have still picked it up, but I would have like set myself up better.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I would have like, maybe handle school right away, out of high school. Get a
Right.
degree of some sort. Like I recently, it was like
That way you
two
have
years ago.
cash to fucking pay for the gear.
Exactly. We're
Or
not
just
necessarily
fix your credit. Yeah,
get a good credit
definitely.
score. You know what I mean?
Super vital stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I teach my little brothers and sisters, like, you gotta get your credit up. Like, just so
yeah,
fucking important.
it is.
But fucking you know, music and Guam, like, it's getting bigger, dude. It seems like Guam music is putting a solid foot down.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. I'm proud of them, man. Because you and I are like we're like the people who left Guam. We've been away from Guam long enough now, where it's like we're the Guam boys who like aren't on Guam anymore. But just to
yeah,
see the Guam boys who are on Guam still, like, because when I was on Guam, I couldn't level up the way I wanted to level up. I just didn't know how. And now these
yeah,
guys are like, there's no excuse, and they're for them it's just like they want to level up, so they're like they have to like go through the extra loops, not being directly connected to the music market here in the States,
mm-hmm,
or at least a drive away, you know. Um,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, I don't know, it's crazy. I just love it. I went back and I just love like all the local music and new talent. Seeing some of these younger guys like are coming up and like dude, way more like skilled than I ever was at that
Yeah.
age.
We didn't know what the hell we were doing, bro. We were running around with our heads cut off, bro.
Exactly,
But
dude.
I'll tell one thing that I will pat myself on the back with is that maybe they watched me fucking fail 1,000 times and they got branding right off the bat. They got fucking um maybe they did learn something from my mistakes, and
Right.
if they ever did, and hopefully that is true, or that way would I laugh or would I leave when it's over, it's like, hey, or something, I just want my mind to, I don't know, legacy is a big thing, and
Right.
I guess I'm not patting myself on the back just yet, but it's a work in progress. And
Right. Right. I mean, we're still young in a sense, but
dude,
not as young
I
as you
feel
two, but
old,
we still
bro.
got yeah, dude.
Shit, but we are young. We are
We
young.
are
See,
still young, so we
I'm
still got a lot.
learning. I'm learning.
Still got a lot of things to do.
I almost shot myself in the foot right there, but hey,
I
my
do
bad, my
have like
bad.
I do have like 15% of gray hair on my head though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that straight up right now. I got a lot of gray hair coming on. I look like Filipino George Clooney, but not
dude.
George Clooney. Just the hair.
Yeah, just the hair. Just the hair. Don't worry, bro. We're not recording the film here. One day we will. But
One day.
yeah, dude. Fucking where can people find you, Jay?
Social media wise, I kind of just stick to the classics, Facebook, Instagram. Jason J. That's the Jason with the letter J and a dot after it, a period. And then I got music on iTunes, Spotify, all the streaming services. Um, yeah, I got two EPs up there. I'm working on the full album right now. I'm in the writing process during this coronavirus pandemic. It's
Sick,
perfect though.
Jay.
It's
Sick,
perfect
dude.
for my writing, bro, because I can dwell a lot. Like I'm
Let's
not
talk
worried
about
about.
that. Let's talk about that a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit.
Uh, yeah, so
Fucking
for me, like the way I'm like really trying to utilize this whole pandemic, worldwide pandemic with
mhm,
COVID-19 is like for me, it's like all the not distraction, but the hustle of live show took so much of took up so much of my time. That's a constant hustle, really. Like, of course, the recording is just as important, but the moment you finish recording, like, you got to put it out.
yeah, you're supposed to
You know,
be fucking on tour. You're supposed
yeah,
to be.
trying to jump on tours. You know what I mean? And like, and the struggle of finances with a tour, like these opener slots when I'm opening for bands, like it's like 150, 250. But
Mhm,
when you want to bring like a 5-piece band on the road,
yeah.
and like as an artist, like these guys are playing with me, you know what I mean? But they're not. It's not a band name. It's an artist
Mhm,
thing. But of course, it's still a band element, and it's a brotherhood, or a friendship. But it's like to tell, like for them to come on tour and only be able to chunk them out like $25 a show, $50 a show, because I got to pay for like gas, the rental of the van,
mhm,
um, where we're gonna stay the night at, like even some meals whenever I can, like so like all
mhm,
that kind of shit, like was making me have to like hustle and find money and work all
mhm.
kinds of odd end jobs just so I can like keep that afloat. And it hasn't paid off yet, I mean, it's slowly, I'm seeing more momentum with it and I'm growing, but like I'm still in that hustle right now trying to figure out the next tour and how I'm gonna, like I did
Finance it.
this, yeah,
Yeah.
like I did this last tour with Hyrie, um, and I was the opener, also playing in Hyrie's band as a headliner, but like being the opener, I got to use three people from her band on tour,
Yeah, I
and
saw that. That was sick.
riding their bus, and all that shit. I mean, you came out to the show, right? So like you understand.
Yeah.
But for
Thank you,
those that are
man.
listening, yeah, man, thanks for coming out. That's dope. But like I got like a lot of expenses were cut off, or like that I would have to pay for. Like we're just riding with the headliner crew, but I was the opener act and just performing my songs that way. Um, but the only drawback was that I couldn't have enough rehearsals with the band because we were prepping for the headliner tour with the
Yeah.
headliner. So
That
like,
was a lot of
I don't
work,
want
huh?
to, yeah, I can't pull those guys too much and like lock it in. So every show is kind of different on tour for my
Mhm.
set. But yeah, dude, like the COVID-19 thing, like strips all of that away for a second. And it's back to like the material. And I'm like, dude, I mean, it's unfortunate for the whole world, but I'm just trying to look at the positive things, like the weather clearing up, like the earth needing a break, families get to spend time together and not be stressed out so much
Yeah.
about having to work and the bills. Like, like, of course we all still need money, and like they have like the pensions coming and stuff like that, but of course that's not going to be enough,
Yeah.
um but like just to take a break from all the craziness that the world has everyone running in circles for, and like back to like the start of being human, which is our family, our connections, what we eat, what we put in our body, like exercising, like being
Yeah, I've seen a
creative.
lot of people exercising right now, dude.
Dude, I've been on the tip too. I've been trying to get it in every day,
Yeah, dude.
the only thing, my weakness right now is ice cream, bro. And this whole
Hey,
pandemic, I'll buy ice cream at the store in like a tub, and I'm just like,
what's your favorite flavor?
I'm like I like the fancy like mixes and shit. Like, um, I don't know, it's all kinds, bro. Like coffee, chocolate, but
No shit.
I don't know.
You drink
I go,
black coffee still?
I do whenever I do need coffee, but I don't drink. I try not to drink caffeine at like on the regular every day.
Mm, okay.
So I don't rely on caffeine to get up, but then sometimes the days when I come home from like studio at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., and then my
Mm,
son wakes me up at 9:30 to play. Like I get up.
nice.
Sometimes I need coffee after just like 3.5 hours of sleep.
Mm,
To try to keep up. But I try not to. I don't make it a regular thing, and I don't
yeah.
wake up and look for the coffee pot right away. But I do enjoy my coffee black. It's less calories too.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Fuck.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
man, this
man.
COVID thing, that's like, it's awkward because everything's on pause, but like there's the beauty in the pause because we can
There is.
remind us ourselves of the things that we forgot about.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully,
like I'm
man.
like I pulled up
Hopefully.
my old laptop and my old like I usually keep all my old cell phones whenever I can because I have voice notes in them of
Mm-hmm.
like ideas, and I found some gems that I totally forgot about, and I probably would have never opened because I didn't have the time. I was always running around,
Yeah.
focused on other things. So trying to revive some of these old songs. Like I had a verse and a chorus kind of thing. Like
Dude, that's
right,
what I did, bro. I fucking
yeah,
went back in the archives. I started stitching verses from
right,
different parts. And I was like, fuck, bro, that's a lot of shit.
yeah,
But, you know, I always encourage just anybody that wants to do music, just get your sound right and record it on whatever you can. Look at how me and you started out, man. And it's like,
yeah. I
and
think for
then
me,
you
like
can
what I've
tailor your.
go no go ahead, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, then you can tailor what's really matters when you do record something. It's like
Yeah,
it'll sound a little bit better. That's the goal.
yeah.
You know.
I mean, like in my personal experience, what I've learned to do is when you're writing the song in general, like just I've been trying to work on having my vision for everything like go farther down the like so like instead of just the songwriting, like I'm trying to imagine the entire song at the end. And
Yeah.
so like if I try to imagine that just a little bit, like when I'm recording, like that's my standard for myself, trying to hit that and like, oh yeah, it does sound like how I kind of imagined it.
Yeah.
And but sometimes that can bite you in the ass at the same time, like it's not what I imagined. Or like
Yeah.
you can't find it, you can't hit it on the head exactly of what it is you want it to sound like, or some, I don't know, but it's just, for me it's like exercising like the vision, like the foreshadowing of it before it happens, like
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah,
No, I get
trying to
you.
see
I
farther,
get. Yeah.
trying to see farther down my idea,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you have to actually paint that world in your
yeah,
mind before you even write
you
the
do,
song. It's like a lot of times when I'm writing a song, it's like I'm creating my own little world, dude. You know,
yeah.
and
It's really like a scene from an episode, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we're creating a musical landscape.
because after you lock down, like just a couple chords or whatever, then the imagination will be running.
Yeah,
But it's so cool, man. Freaking, I played at one high school on Guam, and people were jamming your song and jamming my song. They know it. I'm like,
yeah.
It's a trip that it trickles down from generation to generation, and
Yeah,
we're very lucky. And I know like you've always handled yourself with grace and you know, respect and humility, dude. You know what I mean? And
try to. Yeah,
it's one of those things, dude. It's like it comes across through action and you know, I think that's the biggest thing for me is like I want to build momentum and stuff
yeah,
like that, and it takes action,
yeah. It just
So
starts with us. It starts with the splash. It's like sometimes you worry too much about the ripples in the water, but like what causes the ripples in the water is the smack of the hand on the water. You know what I mean? Realizing that
hmm
that's the power because we can choose when we want the ripples to start just by hitting the water more. You know,
yeah,
it's like some
and
weird analogy. But yeah,
no,
I
it's
just talked.
cool, dude.
I remember being high one day and I was talking to somebody about it on the phone. But yeah, like that's like as creators, bro, we have as artists, we have a power in our hands. Like it's a gift. Given to us, like it's a power. Like, and to create something that can affect people, it's like just a matter of honing in like our power. Like just like mutants, bro. Like we have
Yeah,
something different that like only select few of the population in the world have. I
yeah,
mean, there's
it's
a lot.
kind of like I think for us, right? Because the style of music that we play and the way we write and how seriously we take it, there's not a lot of us like that, in the world. And there's a lot of writers in the world, yeah,
Yeah,
but they don't take it like the power. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
what you're talking about, and it's when you're aware of it, it's cool. Because now when I'm writing songs, I know it's starting to sound like like Ziggy Marley's style when he transitioned to like family songs. You know what I mean? It's like now it's talking about like some world stuff, and
yeah,
um, before it was always me trying to reach the world or me trying to reach the world, and now I kind of like let go from it, and the world is slowly coming over to me, and it's pretty cool. It's all about intention, I think. If the intention is good, people will see that and it'll come across. And if you just want to be a positive influence, shit, people are down for that.
yeah. Exactly. You just got to find the people that care about your message. Like
Yeah, yeah. You have to
to
find like
all your
you have to.
songwriters, like, yeah, you shouldn't be like trying to. If you're writing like like a if you're writing like gospel music, like you shouldn't be at some other places that like don't even care about music, or like I don't know. That's a poorly put situation, but I mean like you got to find the people who want to hear what you have to say, because there's a lot of
Yeah,
people who are not going to want to hear what you have to say.
and they're out there, dude. They
They're
are out
all in
there.
the masses, and you can feel so defeated by being around people that don't want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're just around the wrong crowd, like, and all you people who are like just like trying to find that those people, like we all are, we all are like searching for our niche and searching for our tribes, people who are like
hmm
down for what we do and believe what we do,
Yeah.
because you can have one person who thinks you're like super shitty and not even like nothing special, but then you have another person who's like, bro, you're amazing, like
hmm
like your music speaks to me, and it's like that's just a matter of opinion. So it's just a matter of finding all those opinions. Like I feel like all the music everyone writes in the world is just some flavors, of ice cream, and
hmm
people hate vanilla, but goddamn, vanilla's always there, bro. Like it's
Yeah.
because of people who like it, other
Yeah.
people will like it. So it's all flavors, bro. It's all
Definitely.
flavors. Yeah, different flavors.
I like to think that it's this is the analogy that I tell people. It's like we all have different streams, but we all lead to the ocean. So
Right.
each
Exactly.
person has their different stream that they have to find, and then they eventually lead to the ocean. And that's like
Agree.
because I used to, man, my mental battles, Jay, as a musician's mind is very It's like a wild stallion, and it could be as brittle as fucking sugar. You know what I mean? And it's the self-negative talk is huge, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it
It's
is.
ever present, dude. But you have to move in some type of competence. Like you have to be like, hey man, I did that concert that one time. I'm pretty sure I can do this one. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
done
no,
this.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. That's been my whole like performance career up to now. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time I'm performing, like there's been like I've been scared for the longest time, until
Mm-hmm.
the last 5 years I started to break out of that more. But like before then, like before I started playing the festivals, the reggae festivals, I just started playing with a band called Seedless, and they showed me like my first taste of Cali Roots and One Love, and I got to play in the bigger stages with them, and that's when you realize like, yo, we're all cut out for this. Like it's all in our heads, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, man. It's a trip because we just make it up. Everyone just paints this picture of how they think the world is, but really like we're all talented and are able to perform at that level. We just have to like face our fears, or face fear, do things that make us uncomfortable. Like fuck, man, I would be like so stuck to my guitar and like afraid to like move and dance while I play. I'll just stand still and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize like and want to close my eyes the whole time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But realizing that opening your eyes and doing what you're afraid to do,
It's like it's
what
not gonna hurt you, right? It's
it's
not
not gonna
gonna.
hurt you, and it can actually be strength to you by face. Like look, even because so many years I played and I just got like blank looks,
Mm-hmm.
but not
Kind of like
realizing that maybe
the
those
Green
blank
Day,
looks.
the Green
Yeah,
Day kind of look.
exactly. So like maybe my perception of that was like they're all like, what the fuck is this,
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they were just like, whoa, what the fuck is this, you know what I mean? And it's the
Yeah.
same face they're making, but I'm just drawing up in my mind like, oh, these guys don't like me, whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can still feel vibe in a room, but like I felt like the more I would try to like fight that and not just welcome the fact that I'm on the stage and people are directed facing me, and like try to give more attention to them, as individuals and as a people, and
Mm-hmm.
talk to a crowd more, things like that. And I'm still trying to get better at that. And like
Mm-hmm.
when I play in some of these other projects like with other artists, and I see how their machine works, like I learn things from that too,
Yeah.
like some of the different artists I played guitar and harmonized with,
Yeah.
um like I would help support them and back them up in their music and their sound. And I always just take lessons I learned from that, and I can, when it's time to hit it on my own and I'm the front of the stage now, like I just incorporate some of those ideas that I learned from all the musicians I played with, you know and
Definitely.
I've had so many negatives. Like I had people like, yo, like like you dress too plain, or you need to get more tattoos everywhere, or some shit, or pierce your face or something. I'm like, dude, like just let me be me,
Yeah.
let me be me. Like I'm not gonna have to like just want to dress apart, I'm not gonna
Definitely.
like I'm just gonna be me, and if they don't like them, then those are the people that you don't need to impress.
Exactly. They're not gonna be around,
Because yeah,
when then. So it's okay. I always get to that point where it's like people are gonna like you and people are not gonna like you and people are not gonna care. So just do it for the little fraction of people that really like your shit.
yeah, and you get all your stuff to them. And now it's a day and age where you can have a show, and if you're connected to all those people, you can have all those people in one room, and that's 2,000 people. You know what I mean? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, just find the people that want to hear your shit.
Definitely. Yeah, dude. Freaking man, what a convo we had, dude. I think there's so much value. What's your what you have any new obsessions? Anything new that your new hobbies, new
Um, Hobbies?
any you flipping bottles and making it land on the
No,
the
no,
the cork?
No, not trying to do anything trendy. That's for sure.
No,
uh,
no, I'm like, any hobbies or anything?
hobbies.
Shit.
I mean, I'm so fucking balls deep in this music that I barely got time for anything else, to be honest. Like, and
Dude,
then the
Jay.
family as well. You know, like
Yeah.
the family situation requires a lot of my attention. You know, and a lot of my money, a lot of my work money that I make, like I'm working for the dream. Like I'm that like money's going straight to equipment, straight to like things I got to pay for, studio time.
Yeah.
So I'm still in the grind, bro. I'm still trying to climb this mountain, and see what the fuck's at the top. I don't know. There's nothing. There might not be anything worth it at the top, but
I
I just
think
know
it's
I climbed it.
I think it's
And how?
the person like who you become that reaches the top. I
Yeah,
feel like that's the guy that's the reward for
yeah. The people we all hope to be.
yeah, to become
Yeah,
that person, you know what I mean?
yeah.
That
And
and
then I
it's
mean, maybe even not think of it as a mountaintop. Maybe just think of it as like in the distance. Like
mhm.
more horizontal than vertical. So it's like the vision of it being so hard is not so bad. It's a matter
Yeah.
of just keep on going so you can get to that destination like 15,000 miles away.
Dude. I think it's close, bro. It's close. I think you're gonna be taken off and by super soon the world's gonna hear you and like I mean they already do, but I think the word of mouth factor is gonna kick in for you real soon and I'm really
Thank you.
proud of you, man, and it's just a testament that hey, we go through it all.
Yeah,
If we want it all, we gotta go through it all,
yeah.
and that's the really low points to the really high points, and dude, you motivated me, bro. I'm like, dude, maybe I should just park music for a little bit, but
Fuck no.
you gotta understand, Jay. Like,
Uh,
I don't have many musicians around me,
Yeah,
so every time that I'm making music, it's like to my standard, or
yeah.
it's and that's a low one if I'm lazy and a high one if I'm determined. But
Right.
it's like, fuck,
Bro,
bro.
but you're
You
in
know what I
Florida.
mean?
There's a shitload of fucking like reggaeton vibes, Like I know
Uh,
Florida's long as fuck. It's a
yeah,
long ass state.
where I'm at is like I guess it's fucking. I'm trying to cultivate it again, I guess,
Yeah.
because we do a open mic thing, but this coronavirus
Oh, dude.
has stopped it, and I don't
Every
do it for money, but it's like they kicked me a good, you know, something, put gas in, some chow,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
And
really
it's more
cool.
about the music, The open mics are about music, dude. Like
Yeah, dude. So we had like really cool guests and stuff like that, and it's nice.
that's what I wanted to do because I wanted to get back in. There's a point where I started to look up like an LA Weekly. They had like a open mic, like what do you call it? What do you call things? Classifieds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and like open mic bars and stuff, and you can go and sign up, and like I literally like every weekend check out a new like dive bar or a speakeasy that's doing open mic and just jump on.
That'd be
And
sick.
bro, like you never know who the fuck is listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
dude.
never know, bro.
Cause you
Like
got the older dudes that want to hear, new
exactly,
shit. So they
exactly.
fucking go to open mic, and you never know who the fuck they are.
Yeah. And I feel like, dude, like you're in a good spot. Like I feel like you can still the fact that you know the type of music that you play is different from a lot of people I can imagine in Florida. So like just playing
Yeah.
that, having your own sound, like you're bound to, like have people remember you for sure,
Yeah,
bro. Hit the
it's
mark,
pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think it's just like you said, in your beginning stages, it's fucking hard. You know,
Yeah, of
you
course.
have to really wipe the slate clean, and ev- there's no shortcut. You gotta pay your dues. You gotta
Yeah,
fucking. That's why I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'll still pay my dues. I'll still fucking record. I'll still drop. I'll still look for gigs. But I know that the season's slow and it's not time to reap the fruits yet. It's time
yeah,
to fucking sow the seeds. So
yep, yep,
let's fucking do that. And I don't know. I think it all comes down to impact. I want to positively impact the
yeah,
world. And
right,
even if it's just make them feel like they're not alone in their their sorrows or make them feel good, or
Yep.
because the kind of reggae that me and you do, it's not like too um happy go lucky kind
Yeah.
of, where we talk about some shit,
Yeah. A
but
lot of life lessons, I feel like.
yeah.
Um, it's not very what's the word? I can't even think of the word right now. Anyway, scratch
Popular.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
not poppy,
yeah.
but
I mean, I like certain poppy vibes, but like I don't know. I lost my train of thought. What I was trying to get to.
yeah. Well, it's already an hour, bro, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, let's cut this. And fucking thank you so much,
Dude,
Jay. And
thanks for having me on here, bro. This is cool, man.
yeah, we'll do it again, bro. And I'm gonna put the links in the description below.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you guys for listening. Jason, thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time, bro. Best of
Anytime,
luck
bro.
to you, brother. And yeah, shoot me a text later, bro.
For
Take it
sure.
easy.
Likewise, bro. Take it easy, man. Stay
Sh-
healthy.
You too, man. Shoot, bro.
Shoot.
Once again, thank you, Jason, for the episode. Thanks for taking the time, man. Really enjoyed this conversation. Guys, go check him out at Jason J Music on Instagram. Links in the description below. Go listen to his music, download it, show support. Shoot.